Welcome to the Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast.
If you like a lot of wrestling on YouTube, join our cult. Hello and welcome to the Cultaholic Weekly Podcast, the thing that is every week on Cultaholic, and you can download it as a podcast. Joining me, as always, is Jack the Jobber from wherever Jack the Jobber lives.
The east end of Newcastle-ish.
Awesome.
Yep.
And right. Ross from wherever Ross lives. These are always the worst bits of the podcast, people. Don't worry, it gets better.
I'm on the other side of Newcastle. Hi, delightful Maffew. How are you?
Wonderful. I've had a very hard day setting up my posters. God, it's been strenuous. And then I sat down and then got up again. Such is life right now for most people. So
never going to keep you down.
I can't remember the rest of the lyrics, but thank you for trying
Chumbawamba.
Oh, I thought you were doing the Raw theme song.
No.
I thought you was doing Rick
Never
Astley.
going to keep me down.
Oh, no. I get knocked down, and I get up again. You're never going to keep me down. You take a whiskey drink, you take it.
I want an
Very
NJPW.
relative.
I use the kitchen sink. Right. And let's get the news.
And you as well. Hi, Maffew.
Oh, hello. Yeah. Hello, me. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
And also hello to our lovely editor, Dick Tubbs, who's listening to this in the background, but we're pretending we can't see him. Continuing the theme of as soon as the podcast goes out, something really important and newsworthy hits the wonderful world of wrestling news. Last week saw, let's get out of the way, Velveteen Dream. We saw more of him than we wanted to see, and the allegations that it was sent to people of a very young age who should not be seeing these type of things, and also apparently audio to go with it. WWE being tight-lipped about everything. So there's not much to say at this point. It's waiting for more information to come through. Can we say anything more at this point, gents?
Don't think we can we? Yeah.
Only that he's advertised for next week's NXT, but apart from that, there's not really any concrete info out there.
Well, we've done our job there. Also, the next day, Hiroshi Hase, I'm hopefully probably butchering that name, but the Japanese legend, person who was involved in the creating of the Buddha scale all those years ago, and member of the Japanese Diet, I believe, the parliament. Yeah. Also accused of physically assaulting an underage girl. Last time I checked this, he hasn't actually quit his job yet, despite people going, are you kidding me? You probably should quit, mate. So you're there for the Japanese fans here. What else? Oh, more happy news. Cain Velasquez was apparently still with WWE. But don't worry, because he's been released now.
Poor guy.
Poor Cain. And people realize, wait a minute, wasn't this the hiring where because they hired Cain for Saudi Arabia, Kofi lost to Brock, absolutely annihilated his main event push. Then because of that, we had everything else that happened with the title, and it all was because of that 2-minute match they had, maybe 3-minute match at Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Which shouldn't have been on anyway, because Kane had a knee injury or something, didn't he? But they had him wrestle anyway. So I don't know. What a mess. And what a shame.
Yeah. Damn it. What we're going to do for Kane versus Gronk?
It was really weird as well, because when I interviewed him in London, I remember asking him, like, are you going to be in the Royal Rumble? And he went, oh, I'm very interested in that. And then, like, 2 minutes later, went into an interview with, like, The Sun or The Mirror or somebody and just confirmed that he was going to be in the Rumble and then wasn't in the Rumble. So I was like, what's going on here? But he seemed, like, really invested in, like, making a good go of this and, like, actually being a proper wrestler. So I don't know what's happened. We might see him crop up somewhere else, like maybe AAA again or something. But
I was going to say, we can go back to having 4-star matches for AAA.
Yeah.
As it should be. Gerald Briscoe tweeted out that he has been furlonged.
Furloughed.
I've typed furlonged. He's a horse, that Gerald Briscoe. Furlonged, Jesus. Yes, Gerald Briscoe of the Illuminati. Nothing, sorry to use. Although Meltzer says he's basically gone, which would be sad if true. Again, Gerald Briscoe, being with the company so long, I'd almost forgotten he was there. So what do you think, Ross?
By one of the greatest 24/7 champions of all time. That'll be his lasting legacy in the professional wrestling business. Yeah, I don't know what he does backstage these days, but yeah, He's fantastic with the Stooges back in the day, and that's what I know him best for. So yeah, all the best to Gerald and his mechanical shop.
That's right.
Aye.
Drew McIntyre sent a replica title belt to World War II veteran and Cultaholic Hall of Fame member Captain Tom Moore for his 100th birthday.
Today, innit? Or yesterday, sorry, as the podcast goes live.
Yes, but knowing this, he'll be out as something bad by the time this comes out anyway, so knowing our bloody luck. What do you think, Jack? I know you're friends with Tom.
Just really nice, isn't it? Don't know him personally, but lovely bloke. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about the story, Maffew. Nice gesture.
I spoke to you because I also have nothing else to add. Isn't that nice? And after declaring there'd be no new WWE 2K game, instead 2K announced a different game called WWE Battlegrounds, looking more like a wrestling version of NBA Jam with the exaggerated reality, big heads, and silliness.
Crocodiles and light beams and fire. Mental.
Yeah.
That's all I've got to say about that.
We're really adding to the news this week, aren't we? Clearly. And bizarrely, Dutch Mantel, of all people, then tweeted out saying he'd overheard directly out of Stamford, and he'd added WWE, so you know it's real, that a deal is being negotiated to sell WWE in the network to ESPN and Fox by as early as mid-May. And it's a weird story, but apparently someone was saying, no, you can't do that because the McMahon's, it's A and B shares and things like that, and they would all have to sell at the same time. Then someone turned around and goes, no, if McMahon sold their shares, then they would turn into B shares. So from what I've read from the financial people on Twitter, it is possible. It's not the impossible thing that people may have thought it to be. However, if it's true or not, remains to be seen. Maybe Dutch Mantel is just trying to sell his latest podcast. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. It's a weird one. It's a very weird one.
It certainly is. And if that news wasn't weird enough, shareholders Ryan Merholz and Melvin Klein have filed a suit against WWE and some of the higher-ups, alleging that someone sneezed in front of Vince, alleging that WWE executives misled investors and acted against their best interests. And the interesting thing about that was a little expert was putting some websites saying, and also, what's this about abandoning the wrestlers in Saudi Arabia and bugger off the plane? So I'd be interested if that gets brought up as a thing for shareholders to take out on WWE.
I can't see them. Why would Dutch Mantel, of all people, be the one who gets this scoop? I don't understand.
I think Maffew summed it up quite nicely before with the podcast.
Yeah,
he's achieved his goal, hasn't he? We're sat here speaking about his brand new podcast. I'm assuming it's brand new. I didn't know Dutch Mantel had a podcast until right now.
I may have made it up just to assume that any old wrestler nowadays looks at what we call the Conrad effect and goes, you know what, Conrad, I've had an idea. Let's go Dutch.
Are you insinuating that Dutch Mantel is a worker and is working us?
No, says unconfirmed guest on the 3rd episode of Let's Go Dutch. And apart from that, that's all the news I have. I think we've skated around the bad issues quite quickly. God, we're good. Any other news going once? Going twice. Sold to the next segment.
Everybody get excited for the Cultaholic Hall of Fame!
And it's everyone's favourite segment, the Hall of Fame. And in condescending order from last week, Salty Bet, the good way to waste a good few hours of your time watching what's her name? Mugen fights take place. Voted by Jack.
I thought that was a good one as well. Yeah, 16%. Brilliant.
It's like, yeah, usually the ones that you come up with 5 seconds before we ask you if you have anything for the Hall of Fame do really well, Jack.
That one, well, that's why. That one was pre-planned. So, yeah.
Oh, that's it. Spur of the moment. Aunt Bessie's Jam Roly-Poly Pale Ale, 28%. That's a good one there from Ross. And I did see other people tweeting about this, so obviously something going around.
Oh, wow.
Oh, but that means in first place, that's right, the best there is, the saltiest there is, the saltiest there was, the saltiest there ever will be, none other than Salty Bret Hart. Talking about hypnosis and a high flyer of the highest magnitude, El Dandy. Yes. What a great week. What a great podcast. What a great bunch of viewers we have. Oh, sorry, then it's me going first. In that case, I'm going to go with something non-wrestling. And I think, doesn't matter what age you are, you'll relate to this. Been watching loads of cool stuff on Netflix, from the Tiger Kings to LA 92 and all the other good stuff. But one thing I've been wanting to watch for a while, and what better time than now, was, of course, the documentary of the Northeast's very own bestest, most favouriteest footballer, Gaza.
Oh, right. I thought you were going to say Sunday Until I Die there. Okay.
Oh, Jesus, God, no. Yeah, if I'd bet on like Ross to win that week, I'd put that up. But no. Gaza, for people who don't know, was this cultural phenomenon because he was so good at football and he was so Tyneside. Turns out, watching that, I was going to say he's a Geordie. He's not. Lives as a Gateshead. So I'll just say he's Tyneside, just for the sake of conversation. And really going through the absolute highs, the absolute lows of that man, from crying to get his bollocks squeezed by Vinnie Jones, to getting injured, to going to Italy, to annoying the Scots, to everything else that happened in his life. Just an amazing portrayal, amazing summarization of a fantastic guy that a lot of us can relate to, showing how we look up to athletes and superstars, and sports stars and people like this, and we think of them as like being gods. But at the end of the day, they are as human beings, and some of them are happy to show their flaws. So all respect to Gaza.
Okay, that's a
Ross.
solid. Okay.
Yours would win if I was picking.
Got one vote.
I'm sure we've all seen these like musical concerts that have been done from all these famous faces' homes over the past few weeks. And I think this is a few weeks old now, but Elton John sat in his garden.
I saw this.
Sat in his garden on the piano. He's trying to sing Maffew, I'm Still Standing, but he's unintentionally turned into the club singer from Shooting Stars. And it is the best thing I have seen in a very long time. He's just sat there going, I'm still standing. He's just making random noises. He's trying to do it. He's getting on, bless him. I know he used to be a fantastic singer, but I think the hands of time have caught up. Unless he is trying to do a club singer tribute, and if he is, good for him, because it's a fantastic tribute to do. But I retweeted it a few days ago now. Go on my Twitter if you want to see it. Elton John, his newest rendition of I'm Still Standing. That is my nomination for the Hall of Fame, because it is unintentionally just amazing.
Good God, sounds like the bitch isn't back. Jack, what have you got for us?
Okay, I'm gonna change mine at the last minute then, because that's inspired me. So I'm changing mine at the at the 11th hour. Mine was originally going to be also a Netflix documentary, The Last Dance, which is about Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls in the 90s. Which is, I'm already a fan of basketball, but it's really good. I think even if you're not an NBA fan, you can watch it, and it's still really, really well done. But I'm going to change it to another musical performance by a band of the sort of late 90s, early 2000s called Puddle of Mud, who recently did a cover of... have you seen this, Maffew? Who recently did a cover of About a Girl by Nirvana. Is it About a Girl or About a Boy? Yeah, About a Girl. About a Boy's the film with bloody Nicholas Hoult in it and Hugh Grant. And the drummer, the bassist, the lead guitarist, they're all on point. It's a nice rendition. And then the front man just comes in and just absolutely butchers it, and it's the best thing I've ever seen. It's Maffew, you've seen it. How would you describe it?
I wouldn't.
Right. It's that, obviously the most famous rendition of it's on that VH1 Nirvana Unplugged thing, and it's a really sort of haunting moment, and there's all like the candles about and all of the like moody atmosphere and stuff, and he just totally wrecks it, and it's absolutely hilarious. And it's like he's trying to do like a South Park parody of Kurt Cobain's voice. But
that's the perfect.
Yeah. It's so bad. So I've got to nominate that for the Hall of Fame. So mine goes to the Puddle of Mud cover of About a Girl. But I do like Blurry and She Hates Me. They were a couple of bangers back in the day, weren't they? You know?
My dad loved She Hates Me because it's son, reminds me so much of your mum. But it's funny to me because Puddle of Mud, or at least the frontman, were hot poo with music scene in the early 2000s until they did a thing with Kerrang magazine, and Kerrang quoted them as saying, well, we wrote our album that went platinum before Nirvana did theirs, so therefore and also I was able to play, no, I think I mentioned the quote, but they said we were able to play all the songs from Nevermind and we were younger than Kurt Cobain when he did it. So therefore, we're better than Nirvana. And Kerrang just ran with that and buried them, and their next album got 1K out of 5 and all this. So it's funny, decades later, the thing that sunk them with Kerrang magazine, which was a very important thing for rock and alternative things back way then, is that they let's bring them again to the forefront of mockery. Couldn't have done nice, a bunch of lads. So the choices are Puddle of Mud, about a girl or a boy, depending on what you're fancying.
About a girl.
Hello, I'm Elton John, Ross, and Gaza. Just Gaza, the guy.
What a strong,
in general.
What a strong week.
Ooh,
that's a big week.
What a murderer's row. Like the Chicago Bulls of 98.
No, they're not in it. It's Puddle of Mud now.
No, I know. I know.
Sorry. Oh, you're saying that.
Yes.
Yeah. Can I be...
If this week's Hall of Fame pick were a basketball, an NBA team, the late 90s, they would be the Chicago Bulls.
If we were the Bulls, who would be... Can I be Dennis Rodman? Okay, never mind.
Yeah, you're the crazy one.
Do you want to be Rodman, Maffew? Maffew, do you want to be Rodman?
You can be one of Rodman's shoes.
Can I be
Anyway,
Scottie
before we start
Pippen?
talking
Okay,
about silly basketball
I'll be
stuff.
Carmen Electra.
Have you been watching it?
No, I just saw something the other day about Carmen Electra. I don't know what it was. I don't know why she was there.
She used to go out with Dennis... She's been married, maybe? No, she used to go out with Dennis Rodman. Yeah.
There was something to do with Robin. That's how I saw it on Twitter, but I can't remember what it was. No doubt it was scandalous.
No doubt, but you don't want us to scandalous. Our Hall of Fame picks. God, if only there was a way you could vote for one of them to win next week. Don't worry, you can. Please go to patreon.com/Cultaholic.
This week in the wrestling. It's this bloody week in the wrestling.
This week in wrestling. Let's start off with SmackDown, because we have to. The New Day open the show and are buzzing to be tag team champions again. They're interrupted by Miz and Morrison, hey, ho, ho, who say they aren't real champions because they didn't beat them in a tag team match. It's a valid point. The Lucha House Party and the Forgotten Sons come out, as well as the SmackDown show turns into WWE main event. Everyone brawls and the Sons lay out the New Day. Later, the Lucha House Party surprisingly beat Miz and Morrison. That's right, Lucha House Party beat Miz and Morrison, and you can tell that no one's watching SmackDown at the minute. Jack, you seem happy with this because your man Lindsay got a win on TV. What are you thinking?
Oh, it was weird, wasn't it? I don't agree with it really, but I like that Lindsay got a win. Even though he didn't really get the pinfall, I think he was the illegal man at the time, but never mind. A win's a win. He gets that share of the winner's purse. Go on, Lindsay. Forza, Lindsay.
Beautiful words. Baron Corbin beats Drew Gulak in a Money in the Bank qualifier after Nakamura and Cesaro distract Bryan on the outside. And it says here in brackets, why?
Well, why? Because
why?
He's not feuding with Sami Zayn anymore. They're Sami Zayn's boys. Sami Zayn beat Bryan. Why are they still having to go with Bryan? Have I
Because
missed
they're
something?
salty, like Hall of Fame pick Bret Hart from '99.
Fair enough.
Bayley accidentally cost Sasha Banks a spot in the Money in the Bank ladder match, and she accidentally hit as she loses to Lacey Evans, as my computer apparently tries to corrupt this file. Not a Lacey Evans fan, is this laptop. Yeah, as we continue getting the very, very slow burn to Bayley versus Sasha Banks. How slow is it? Well, I think it started in 2017. And what else? Sheamus squashed a dude and then was mean to Michael Cole afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
So
Michael couldn't work it out, bless him.
No. And never mind that. 30 minutes were spent talking about the 25th anniversary of Triple H, who's looking very good for 25 years old. He celebrates with Shawn Michaels, Stephanie phones him, as does Flair and Road Dogg, and then Vince comes out and makes us all go, Jesus Christ, look at Vince.
He didn't make much sense, did he?
Is this the first time he's been on TV since he completely butchered the rules to the draft a year and a half ago?
Maybe the Raw reunion? Was he on?
He went on a streak of butchering many rules every time he appeared. It was at least 2 times in a row he butchered the rules or something.
Yeah.
Wasn't that when he maybe wheeled out Charlotte? Was that what he was last on that? Yeah.
That's right, but he had to cut that because originally he said, here he is, Shelton Benjamin. So yeah,
Oh,
SmackDown was
God.
the thing. There was some alright
Wait.
moments for Triple H in the 25 greatest, no, that wasn't right, 10 moments of his career in WWE. It is funny that, yet again, the only thing DX did in 98 was ride on a tank, also known as Jeep to the rest of humanity, and interrupted Nitro that one time.
Yeah, but I don't want to linger on this Vince thing for too long. But what?
Oh, please do.
No, because just like he's the guy who's running all the storylines, so obviously nothing makes sense. Because what's he doing? And why was he bringing up like the gobbledygooker and the Bailey segment and all this?
I think I've got from that was Triple H's idea, the Bailey one. That's what I took from that. It must have been.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't
What about
Bailey's
the-
fault, Vince said.
What about the gobbledygooker?
I don't know.
Oh God.
Maybe that was Triple H's idea as well.
When he was terrorizing.
Yeah.
You think the Saudis are wanting some gobbledygooker?
Maybe.
The slow build.
His name is Mike Ashley.
Oh.
God, you know it's a slow news week in the world when Newcastle's getting bought is like trending.
Yeah.
I'll believe it when I see it. It was like every week. Vince McMahon at one point, remember? When the Sun made up a blatant thing that was completely untrue, and every now and again the Americans link to it thinking it's real.
We're going to have the
amount
Big
of-
Show and Grey Carly up front, huh?
Yeah, the amount of times that the friggin' Chronicle would publish like a Newcastle United Dream 11 of wrestlers and bollocks. I hate the Chronicle, man. The Chronicle are bad. The Chronicle is the local newspaper, everyone. There you go. It's no Shields Gazette.
Oh, steady now, steady. Let's say things we'll regret. And then Raw happened. Apollo Crews pinned Andrade in a 6-man tag. Bloody hell. And backstage,
Slap.
I was going to say, backstage
Oh.
Apollo slapped Andre so hard that the next Andrade wannabe will feel it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So hard.
So hot. So Zelina Vega arranges a title match between the pair. Andrade wins after Apollo badly injures his leg in kayfabe, and he is pulled from the Money in the Bank ladder match. Wow. Apollo looking like he's getting the push that you'd see in The Sopranos when all the lower tier characters are suddenly getting pushes because all the upper tier ones are dead. And then as soon as it looks like Apollo's getting a push and Cultaholic are putting out videos going, bloody hell, Apollo getting a push, he's out the match.
Bloody hell. Is that what you think of our channel?
It's like, and I looked at it and I was like, sorry.
Oh, dear me.
Pan's Labyrinth reaction. So that was nice. I hope Apollo Crews didn't hurt his head banging it on the polystyrene ceiling. Any thoughts there, Ross?
Oh, but no, this is like the first. It was a really strange feeling because it was the first time I was properly invested in an Apollo Crews match. Can you think of a time before? I don't know if you were on Monday, but when you felt anything while watching Apollo Crews before Monday?
Yeah, Preston City Wrestling was wrestling Dave Mastiff and Chris Masters.
Nice.
Which is about
Mine would
300
be-
years ago now. Christ.
Mine would be the WrestleMania 35 Battle Royal featuring Strowman and Colin. Because Pacitti had predicted that Apollo was going to win. So that was
Oh, he
pretty
did,
tense.
yeah.
Yeah, that was good. But that wasn't because of anything WWE had written. That was just our own stupid game that made that exciting. Yeah.
Jinder Mahal showed up with a new haircut, which sums up how exciting Raw is at the minute. He's looking good, isn't he?
Yeah.
He is.
He squashed Tozawa, and sadly Lawler was not on commentary, so we'll have to move on because there's nothing else worth talking about. Nia Jax left Asuka and Baszler laying in a match that wasn't a match, but no one died, so she's showing signs of improvement.
I don't know why they do this, though. I was looking forward to that match, heavily promoted before Raw, then you flick the show on. Doesn't happen. Why did they do that? False advertising. Immoral. Bastards.
Card subject to bollocks. I think it's too big of a match to give away on Raw anyway. And
Yeah.
got to build this slow march towards Money in the Bank. And what else we got here? Lashley insisted Lana stay backstage, and when she protested, he had to explain, it's because your beauty is so distracting. And she took this very nicely, and sure enough, without he won.
Who did he
Yeah.
beat? Was it a
It was that
Jobber
guy. That man. He's on every week
that's
now.
right. Yeah.
What's he called?
The one that Vince thinks is going to...
He wears a singlet.
Yes, I know who you mean. Yeah.
He's been on a few weeks now. I can't remember his name.
That random that no one knows who's on all the time. Austin Theory. No, I'm joking.
Oh, cynical Jack. Tusk.
No, I think he's very good.
Cedric Alexander and Ricochet squashed former Jakara greats Ever Rise.
Oh, bless them.
Have you heard their new name?
It's not Ever Rise?
No, not Ever Rise. Ricochet and Cedric.
I don't care about
It
them.
is.
I care about Jakara teams from 10 years ago.
No, you'll care about them now.
Oh,
He's
go
saying
on.
that with a Fidian in the background as well. I love that.
Yeah. It's my friend. Sorry, what were you saying, Ross?
They are called now the Two Fly Crew.
Oh, okay. You know what? That's all right.
I told you care about them now.
If you like Two Live Crew, that is.
They need to start rapping or something. Have a crap rap where it ends with "We are the Two Fly Crew." Gotta do it.
They need to be properly
Proper,
like two.
proper 90s cheese, and PJ and Duncan style.
To be probably like Two Live Crews, you need to start swearing and curse. MVP says he's going to be representing Shane Thorne and Brandon Vick as the new up and coming tag team, as Raw's roster is assembling the very back of the food cupboard the day before you go shopping.
Is MVP's gimmick like... Matthew, have you watched Arrested Development?
Yes.
Right. Is his gimmick like Carl Weathers in that?
I like that.
Just trying to
That's
scrounge off
so
people.
good. Yeah, it is.
Cheers. Thank you. Because his whole thing is used to be famous, is now trying to scrounge off anyone. And his crap is just a bit crap as well.
Well, he looked at Raw's tag team and went, "Hey man, it looks empty now, but if you take that Raw tag team division home, you can make a soup from it." Drew McIntyre signed a contract for his match with Seth Rollins, the one he's getting after Seth lost at WrestleMania to Kevin Owens, and told him he's full of poop. It did not go censored, possibly because the censors were wondering what happened to Drew McIntyre's accent.
Arse.
And then, it says he eats a Claymore instead, and Rollins bravely runs away. I like reading that. And then in between Raw and AEW Dynamite, there was a little show called Vice, which put Dark Side of the ring, and now the entire world, young uns and old uns, got to experience the absolute joy and pleasure of seeing John Stossel getting slapped by Dr. D, Dave Schultz. And look, that was something that was tape traded for years, and then obviously got into YouTube and was kind of known but not really known. But now that Vice has come out with it, now everybody knows that. What the heck? I think this is fake. Do you think this is fake?
My opinion was
the
changing.
noise it makes, because obviously he's got the microphone to hear clunk, like his head's made of metal.
My opinion was changing throughout that documentary at a rapid pace. Because at first I was like, oh, what an arsehole, assaulting a journalist. But by the end I was like, oh, he seems a bit dim, but all right. And the journalist seemed a bit slimy. And the guy, I didn't know what to think of the guy who sold out the business and everything. It was really,
Eddie
it was
Mansfield.
really good. But, huh?
Eddie Mansfield, what did he say? I'm Eddie Mansfield. I'm a rich woman's day job and a poor woman's dream, or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Something Memphis-y. And again, it's not funny. It's absolutely appalling somebody would get hit like that. But at the same time, it's bloody hilarious. And also at the same time, Dr. D going, well, I mean, and all that, sounded like Sling Blade. And then it goes to talk about, and they said this was wrong and immoral, shouldn't be attacking people. And then, was it the week of WrestleMania 1? Hulk Hogan and Mr. T go on Richard Belzer's show, and Hogan chokes him out. He falls, splits his head open like a coconut, and they had to pay him a lot of money, and all the free advertising in the world.
Yeah, but Hogan does that to everybody. It's a really basic hold. It's really basic. It's fine.
Come here, brother. Squeeze.
I don't believe that that what was his name, Stossel, was really hurt from that.
Oh no, I imagine he was probably hurt, but he got paid out of it, so it's alright.
He wasn't hurt for years, like he said.
He said he was milking it though. Basically, he was like,
Yeah.
Yeah, he hit
when
the
I got
pain.
my money, I was fine.
Was anybody else
Knobhead.
wanting it? He's not a fake knobhead, though. Was anybody else wanting it when they were going, what would you say to Dr. D right now? He was in the room and he said that it was like F Dr. D or something, and they like pulled a Jerry Springer. I was like, well, it's a good job you said this, because here's our special guest, Dr. D. So thank you, Vice, for being the best wrestling show on TV. And let's go to AEW Dynamite, where Cody, don't call him Rhodes just yet, beats Darby Allin in the semi-final of the TNT Championship Tournament. He rolls him up after taking his finisher, so that's weird, it says here. It was a bit weird. It was a good match. And I like to play on the fact of whatever the last show was that they had a match that went 20 minutes, and how they wanted to capitalise on that and that. And again, Darby didn't quite lose to Cody. It wasn't a definitive finish, but it was good enough.
His shoulder was up, wasn't it? Yeah.
It was good enough for 3.
I think it was a good match and everything, but I know that they're building towards Cody and Lance Archer, but I would really have liked to see Darby win, and then Cody goes even more crazy because he's not got a shot at a title again. But I don't know, it's still good.
The Bubbly Bunch do a Manitoba Melee featuring many different wrestlers from around the world, including Vicky Guerrero and some others. But the important thing was to see Lou Ferrigno, aka the original Incredible Hulk, Jay and Silent Bob, and I didn't even realise this until you put it down here, Corey Taylor.
Yeah, I think Corey Taylor was there.
You missed the biggest one.
That's all I've got. I'm trying to remember who the other ones
Jet Ski Man from Tiger King was there.
What?
were. Really?
Yeah.
What? Was it?
Yeah, he was surrounded by women in a poolside.
That was him?
That was him, wasn't it?
Oh my god.
They only
that
did
wasn't-
name tags.
If
I don't
that
know who
wasn't
that
him,
was.
I've just dropped a massive clanger on WTF Moments. I'm 99% sure that was him. I hope it was him.
Oh, what if it isn't? Your WTF moments are going to need a WTF moment.
Oh, it happens every week. It's fine.
Oh, it's alright, fine. No one cares. But if honestly, I don't know who Luke Ferrigno was until people pointed out who he was. So yeah, great idea, Buddy Bunch. But please, next time, please subtitles. And Best Friends beat Sabian and Havoc in a no DQ match. That was kind of brutal. I liked it.
Yeah.
Still getting dropped on chairs and awful waffles.
They've got a tag team name as well now. It's the Super Bad Death Squad or something like that. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds like an Adult Swim show that got cancelled after one season. And then Brody Lee destroys Marco's stunt. Oh my god, that was one dead kid. And it
I
was
love Marco
great.
Stunt. Absolutely love him.
I like Marco Stunt when he's dying.
Yeah. That's where I first became a fan of Lindsay Dorado for a similar reason. Because I found some video on YouTube that was like the many amusing deaths of Lindsay Dorado, and it was just him and Chikara getting absolutely bodied by everyone. It was really good. That's why I first became a fan. What a guy.
And Lance Archer. And what's his nickname again, Jack?
What, the Murder Hawk?
That's right. Do you think they do the same guy that named him, named the Sabian Havoc team, beats a bloody Dustin Rhodes in a dramatic last match to progress to the final, with Cody resisting the urge to throw in the towel as we basically get the finish to Rocky IV. And if you're going to steal from the best. So
Oh, we need a training montage for Cody for the final. We need him to what are the songs in Rocky IV? There's so many.
mate, No Easy Way Out.
No Easy Way Out. That's the one.
One Way Street.
Hearts on Fire.
The USSR anthem.
Hearts on Fire. Yeah. Yeah.
And also montage.
Yeah, we need that. We need that back.
Yeah, but it's going to suck, isn't it? It's like Cody in isolation, and by that we mean his garden. And AEW have declared new TV tapings will be happening, but at this rate they'll be hopefully taking that big ship that Eric Cantona used in those adverts for trainers years ago.
What a reference!
Thank you.
Oh,
Let's make sure Ross is still paying attention. And NXT, in the Cruiserweight title tournament, Isaiah Swerve Scott beat Phantasma. Okay, that's fine. But in more dramatic news, Drake Maverick beats Tony Nese to stay alive. And they are working the angle that Drake Maverick may be actually still in this and maybe winning it. It could happen. this is real life, but it's not real life, it's fake, or is it real? Ross, what do you think?
He's only got a bake, Kushida. That's what he said at the end, isn't it? Piece of piss. Yeah, I don't know what to make of any of this now. I don't know what's real and what's not, and it's a bit crappy on the rest of the lads and lasses who got let go if it is just a bit of a working term, but we'll see what happens.
Jack?
Oh, me and Pacitti really disagreed on this because he's convinced that Maverick's winning the tournament, and I think Kushida's going to heartbreakingly beat him. And I want to do some kind of like side bet with Pacitti that we can put on the channel, but I haven't actually pitched this to him yet, so never mind. But I think Kushida's going to win still.
Some kind of salty
because
bet.
No, not salty bet. I just can't work out though. The only reason I'm worried that Pacitti might be right is because why would they build him up into an important figure before letting him go? Like, it makes no sense. It's the opposite of what they did with Dean Ambrose.
In related news, AEW publicly said, no, we're not going to sign Heath Slater.
Oh.
So,
yeah.
Hey, you're on your way out. Down you gone.
Get him in the G1.
Let's say hello to the crew of NWA Power. We'll just go what they're called then. Sorry for the weird pauses. And
everyone might get Pelvis Wesley on NWA, sorry.
Did you say NHS, Paul?
I know he said
Pelvis Wesley from ECW. Where did that come from?
Southpaw Regional, man, Maffew.
Oh.
The
but that name was almost
Pelvis Wesley.
That was very similar to a guy who did wrestle for ECW.
Really?
Yeah, really. It was Wild Bill, and then one week he was like, I found my roots in Memphis, and he was Bilvis Wesley. And someone, a honky tonk man went, bloody hell, they're ripping me off. Anyway, a newly heel, Candice LeRae, who put heel here? A newly diddler, Candice LeRae, beats Casey Catanzaro.
Yes, what the hell? He's nailed it.
Oh, I was more impressed by the fact that she's around.
She came back.
Oh, okay. She pulled a Drake and puts her in the Gargano escape post-match. Gargano was a great cheerleader here for his wife. And yeah, it's a nice character change. I'm enjoying Candice a lot more than I'm enjoying bloody Gargano. And we get the threat of Dijakovic. He's going to do something to Gargano next week. Yeah, this happened. Also, I should mention the amazing segment with Britt Baker in the dentistry office.
Oh, yes.
With Rebel from TNA.
Reba.
And, God, the video packages and segments have been very good in AEW. I'd say better than the matches in the last few weeks, given circumstances. But this one was just, like, are they actually building towards a Tony Schiavone match?
Oh, I'd love that. Oh, my God.
What, a mixed tag affair with Britt?
Yeah. I don't care how they do it. I just keep this feud going.
Imagine Britt just using Tony as a human shield. It would be so good.
Speaking of dark comedy, Matt Riddle and Timothy Thatcher. Yes, that Timothy Thatcher. You know, the one that used to wrestle on Mount Olympus. They do a comedy segment called the Newly Brothers Show with their Mr. and Mrs. setup. Thatcher accidentally gets all the right answers, including, you know, what is your favourite TV show? He goes, I don't own a TV. That's right. And it works
the price
well.
Was right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. The price was. Oh, yeah, whatever. Yeah, the idea. Timothy Thatcher does comedy surprisingly well. With him doing the Steve Blackman Al Snow gimmick of being the straight one. It's weird to see, but I'll probably get used to it. But then Imperium beat them down. And they beat him down before Thatcher can go, wait, I know one of you. Who's this guy?
I think this was the second funniest segment of its kind I've seen, but the funniest still has to be EC3 and Daniel Bryan on NXT, the game show. When they rigged the answers, like they chose the same answers beforehand, it's the best thing. Have you not seen this, Maffew?
I only saw a bit of the original NXT, and I thought it was crap, so I didn't see it.
So they do this like Mr. and Mrs. setup where the amateurs have to guess the pros' answers. But obviously Brian and EC3 backstage have gone like, right, we'll just put the same answers, like whatever happens. So the first question's like, what do you want to achieve in 5 years' time? And EC3 and Daniel Bryan both write chicks and America. And they're both just like, oh my God, on, we got it. It's really good. It's really well worth watching.
Awesome. Charlotte Flair beat Mia Yim, but Io Shirai arrives afterwards and says Charlotte is hers next week. Pre-hand up if you got Charlotte Flair was NXT Women's Champion. Oh, whoops. Keith Lee successfully defends the North American title against Damian Priest. That was a good bumping match. Any thoughts, Jack?
Just don't forget about Keith, Maffew. Don't you forget about him, as Ross and Tom have immortalised. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, what are Ross's thoughts?
How long's Damian Priest had that little beard for?
What else happened this week? Dexter Lumis killed Shane Thorne, which isn't going to help MVP's chances of taking over the Raw Tag Team division. And that's all the notes I have. I think that's all the wrestling that's occurred. Literally in the entire planet. Oh,
hang on.
Okay.
WCP, the heart and soul of WCPW is the new, not Impact champion, but TNA champion. It's Moose.
Simon Miller. Oh.
No, not Simon Miller.
Oh, the other heart and soul. The kidneys.
Yeah, the spleen of WCPW, Moose, is now claiming to be the champion because Tessa Blanchard's away. He beat Elgin, but he didn't beat Elgin because Elgin doesn't job for anyone. So he beat Hernandez instead, who was in the made it a triple threat. Yeah,
Hernandez was there.
I think it was Hernandez. I can't quite remember. I read that it was Hernandez.
Oh, what a match!
I think it was Hernandez. I think Super Mex came out. I once had a weird at urinal next to Hernandez. Big, large man. I didn't have a look down there, but large muscles. You know. That's sorry, anyway. Do please carry on.
We just like Jack talking.
No,
and
just
seeing
carry
how
on.
long he can go. I think it was Hernandez. I'm not sure. I couldn't stop staring at him. Well, that was This Week in Wrestling. Let's go to the next segment.
Let's have a rummage in our mail bags.
And now time to attempt to read the mailbag. Hi guys, hope you're all well. Behind my house is a multi-story car park. It used to have one cleaner for the whole place, and he was identical to 2002 Shawn Michaels. Me and my family used to love the idea that when no one was around, he'd pop his broom and dustpan down and do the signature strut and pose, all while dressed in his high-vis and polyester shorts. My heart was broken, fittingly, when one day I heard him speak and he had the thickest Scouse accent ever. The illusion was shattered. I also went to school with a Mark Henry. While he was a top lad, he was not the world's strongest man. Also, the local burger van is run by one Jay White. In brackets, best bit is that he doesn't look like Jay White. He looks like Norris off Coronation Street. Is there anyone or anything in your lives that, for whatever reason, humorously reminds you of performers from the wrestling world? All the best, Mike from the Isle of Man. Oh, that explains it. Well, that's a curious question. It's probably the first of three. Jack, do you have any tenuous wrestling connections or things that humorously remind you of performers from the wrestling world?
I can't think of anyone. I know someone from the Isle of Man, and she's really weird, but apart from that, no.
Tell us about that.
I'm not going to mention her by name because this bloke might know her, because the Isle of Man's really small in it, so he might actually know who she is. She's a girl I lived with at uni in second year or third year, you know, and there's like a spare room, and then there's a person who's not in the group who's like in the house as well. And she was really odd. She used to like spill milk in the kitchen and then just not clean it up, and none of us ever got like more than 2 words out of her. But she was an absolutely lethal striker for the women's football team, which is, it was weird. Yeah, it was absolutely mental. She was from the Isle of Man, not to be confused obviously with Pachiti's homeland, the Isle of Wight. But I ain't got any wrestler connections really. Ross?
I've got a really tenuous one. My PE teacher at school was called Mr. Slater, but he looked a bit like Sergeant Slaughter. Maffew?
That's the lucky one. That's the lucky one for a PE teacher.
I also knew someone in Bish. I haven't spoken to him in years now. I'd forgotten about him until this. Some of those guys you add on Facebook and then you don't know what happened to them. Their account just disappears despite not talking to them forever. It was also called Mark Henry. And I've just remembered thinking about him, because again, not thought about him for years. Because this is in Durham, so lots of winding country roads if you want to go see your friends in the other areas like Shildon or Spennymoor. So he would, if he saw any, stop and pick up and collect and take photos of any roadkill he saw on the side of the road, which you can easily do on these country roads because sod all goes past for minutes. So
What?
and I was in the car with him one time. He was like, what's happened? Wait a minute. Click. All right, we can go.
Is this a Briscoe's promo from the early 2000s? I mean, the early 2010s.
God, I forgot about. I might message him after this.
Also,
Yeah, and hopefully he'll say something like, "Don't talk about that in the podcast."
I've also got one for you because isn't legendary UK deathmatch wrestler Iceman? Didn't he used to do your dad's garden?
Certainly is / does.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good one.
The Iceman cometh to trim the hedge.
We went to that deathmatch tournament and he lost, and then he sang Meatloaf or something.
I can't remember the song he sung, but I think he saw Tyson Fury do it, and he was like, everyone's going to join in, it's going to be mint, and he was just like, oh, country roads, take me home. No one joined in and went, well, never mind, bye.
It was the promo before that when he was like, not only am I an excellent wrestler, but I'm an excellent singer. And then he
That's it, yeah.
did a bit of Meatloaf, yeah.
No, if
do
he'd done
Country
Meatloaf, it wouldn't have been Meatloaf because I would have joined in with them.
I thought he did Meatloaf. Did he
I'm
not?
not going to argue. Yeah, it was Meatloaf and I suck. Question number 2. Hi, guys. Firstly, thanks for all your content over the last how many weeks this madness has been, and hope you're all keeping safe and sane. Thank you. My Reese's Pieces is not fast as thought. I am taking inspiration from Jamie Carragher Football Challenge, where you can only choose an 11. Have you put this in the wrong bit?
No, we were meant to take out the bit where it says it's a Reese's Pieces because we thought we'd just answer it as a normal question.
Oh no!
Yeah, that's right.
No, it's all falling apart. That the 3 set up Discord call disguised as a podcast is falling apart at the seams. There we go. You can only choose an 11 with one player from one club and one country. Minus 5 Minus 5 wrestling matches from history to make the perfect pay-per-view. The rules. You can only use a pay-per-view or weekly TV show and the wrestler once. It must have an opening match, IC title, women's title, blah, blah, blah. Keep up the good work. Thanks again, Michael in Birmingham.
Why have you stopped reading the instructions there? Why did
what
you
the hell is
stop
it
when you
talking
were
about?
Why did you stop when you were reading the instructions out? I want to know what I'm doing. I'm actually annoyed.
It must have an opening match,
Why did you
IC
stop?
title,
Thank you.
women's title, tag title, and world/universal. Keep up the good work.
Right.
Thanks again, Michael in Birmingham.
So all we have to do
But
is
you can
pick.
use one wrestler from one brand or whatever he said.
You can only use every wrestler once to make it like a super card.
One club and one country.
Oh no, that's just him referring to.
Oh, okay. 5 wrestling matches from history to make the perfect pay-per-view. Okay. Wow. We've clearly had a look at this before me, Jack. Do you want to start off? Or should we go round? Or should we go round? We'll do the opening match. Jack, you can start that off.
For a perfect opening match, I would go for. I'd go for. I mean, it's got to be Brett versus Owen from WrestleMania 10, but now I can't use Brett or Owen.
Oh, I get. Yeah, right. All right. Okay.
I think.
No, right. In that case, I will pick Liger versus Pillman from WWE Super Brawl. Let me write down that I've said those two, so I don't.
Oh, do we actually have to pick an opening match? I thought we just could riff off the top of our heads.
Oh, I was doing
Any
that,
match?
yeah.
Oh, so we actually
it's all
pick an
ones that have
opening match.
happened. I thought because you're picking people like, oh god, all right.
So you actually have to pick an
no.
opening match. Oh,
I don't know.
WrestleMania 10 is a good one, isn't it?
It was.
I'm going to go for any NXT Tag Team Championship match that opened a NXT TakeOver card. Danny Burch and Oney Lorcan, that one against the Undisputed Era. There you go.
Okay. Good opener. IC title match, Jack.
IC title match.
I've got one if you want to.
Go on.
That fatal 4-way on a pay-per-view a few years ago that The Miz won. Cesaro was there. I can't remember who else was there.
It was actually
Roman
Rules, I
That was
think.
me. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's good, but I'm going to pick Brett versus Mr. Perfect at SummerSlam 91. No, I've used Brett.
I'll pick. I'll pick the big fun ladder match at WrestleMania 32 because that was good. That when Zack Ryder won.
Good. A women's title match.
Bayley and Sasha Banks.
Alundra Blaze and Bull Nakano from SummerSlam 94.
I'll go for one that hasn't even happened yet, but has been announced. Tamina versus Bayley. Because it's going to be amazing. The house will fall down when Tamina finally gets the big one.
Oh.
Yeah, probably. I can only hope it happens before the 1, 2, 3. Tag title match.
Gargano and Ciampa and the Revival for me. The 2 out of 3 falls one in Canada. Do you not remember?
Toronto won.
Yeah. I thought Matty was like shaking his head, but I think he's thinking.
No, I'm thinking.
Answer.
Sorry, that's just my. Like I'm a silent film actor. What do you think, Ross?
Do I need to do one? Because I did one before. I've got one if I do. What are the rules here?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, this is already going to turn into a mini-series by the time, so I will accept that. And I will go with the Hardys versus Edge and Christian ladder match, No Mercy 99. Which leaves, finally, the World/Universal headline of the All-Star Dream Match card thing. Jack, what have you got?
Probably Rock Austin from 17.
Oh, that's good. That's good. What do you got, Ross?
Ooh, I was going to go for Rock Austin. I'll go for The Miz versus John Cena.
Oh, wait, why?
Bastardise the entire concept of this question.
Oh, when he's saying that, I'm going to go with any of the Brock versus Braun Strowman matches. Because by this point, I just want it to be over. Keep the good work. Thanks again, Michael, in Birmingham, for your interesting question that we gave all the effort to.
In fairness to Michael, he did want it to be a Reese's Pieces, but we've just shoved it in. So it's not really Michael's fault, it's ours.
Sorry, your push got cancelled. Howdy diddly rascals. As you have rightly referenced so often on the recent podcast, Tiger King has been a huge hit for me personally, and for many others across the world. The eclectic and eccentric characters make for great viewing. My laptop is crapped again, but he loves Tiger King, so I'm going to blame Carol Baskin for that. Come on, stupid thing. See, I went to resize it because I couldn't see all the message, and then it's just effed up everything. Oh,
I think I've got the notes. Oh, you got it. Okay.
No, I'm sorry. Next week we'll be using a tin can and some string. You can't help but stick with it, despite its various flaws. It all mirrors WWE quite a bit, and I have no doubt that the various personalities would stand out well if they signed on for pro wrestling, particularly Joe Exotic and Carol Effin Baskin. My question to you three is this. How would you book Joe Exotic and Carol Baskin in WWE? Some things to consider are, when and how would they debut? Who from the roster would also be involved in the feud/storyline? Who would you wrap up and who would go over? Who would you wrap up? Oh, how would you wrap up? Who would you wrap up and then feed the Tigers?
Carol's husband, yeah.
And what would their finishing
big
moves
return.
be? Your weekly brilliance and nonsense helps us keep us sane in these strange times. A genuine and funny bunch with great stories, even Jack's. I look forward to many more.
But no.
Best wishes, Rob the Knob from Chiswick.
Cheers, Rob.
So, we'll start for Ross, because noted Tiger King aficionado. When and how would you debut both of these superstars?
Well, the seeds for this feud have already been sown on Monday Night Raw, because Drew McIntyre was walking down to the ring last week, and he said right into the camera, "Hello, you cats and kittens," whatever Carol Baskin says. So, I'm going to have Carol Baskin debut at the behest of Jinder Mahal. So the feud after Rollins will be Jinder Mahal. Jinder will set Carol Baskin and a hungry tiger on Drew McIntyre. And then somehow Joe Exotic saves Drew McIntyre. That's all I've got for you, Maffew. Jack?
I've got Carol coming in and then attacking someone. Maybe I don't know, but once Carl's in there, right, I've taken inspiration from, WrestleMania 20, was it? When whichever one Undertaker came back and scared Kane.
20.
And, yeah, so all the Druids come out, and there's Don, and he's back, and he never died, and Carol's just beside herself. She can't believe it. And then sets up the money match between Don and Carol. Joe Exotic probably gets involved at some point. I'd like to see, what's he called? My favourite one? Cowie. I'd like to see Cowie get involved as like a plucky underdog. I loved Cowie. He's great. Maffew.
Right. When and how would they debut? I mean, given the current situation, Joe Exotic would have to show up in the crowd and then go, hi, and then immediately run out with the police chasing him.
Oh, I thought you meant because he looks like Enzo Amore.
I hadn't even thought about that until now. But I think Joe Exotic would get a pass to appear on Raw because there's so many wrestlers they've taken photos with over the years, including former NWA World Champion, what's his face. And so that would happen. So even the roster, they would show up to help out. Jinder Mahal would turn a blind eye. And who do you wrap up and go over? I think it would all be built up to, right, fine. Carl Baskin, I'll do whatever you want. I'll wrestle you in any type of match you want. I just want that one shot. And then Carl Baskin does like the Cactus Jack No Way Out thing with Triple H and goes, Tigers in a cage. And you have a like Hell from Hell, but instead of Rottweilers that are too busy pooing and shagging each other, it's wild tigers. And just when Joe Exotic is making his way out and he thinks he's got it, he's finally going to beat Carl Baskin. Carl Baskin squirts perfume onto his feet. The confusion, she escapes.
Tiger, and he saw a man.
To say last week or not that, I tried to encourage my dad to get involved with the year 2021 and say, hey, have you seen this Tiger King thing? You got Netflix, I'll pay it for you. And he went, all right, I'll try watching it. Because he likes normal shows like Taggart. So he tried watching it. I can't remember if I said this last week or not, but I'll say it again. He went, I couldn't get past one episode of it. He goes, they're just too American.
Yeah, you mentioned this.
Oh, did I? Oh, I was so yeah. It was good to say twice.
That's the very point of it, though, isn't it?
That's what I tried telling them. But I think he would have been happy if, like, Bobby Robson was the detective investigating or something. There was just no way. It's like, oh, look at him
Bobby
all.
Robson does have a bit of a detective vibe. You can see him as like the lead of a 70s detective show. Robert. Anyway.
Yes. On that odd thought, thank you very much for your weird questions. They never fail to disappoint and disgust. If you have any, or just general thoughts and criticisms, please, please, please send them to mailbag@cultaholic.com. Now for this segment so good they named an American candy after it, Reese's Pieces. Oh, Reese's Pieces Part 2, I guess. Hello, Blue Eyes. Ah, that's an old one. Shame this term for face didn't catch up as well as diddler. Should try doing that from now on. Say Blue Eyes. Take it back to the 60s. Anyway, hope you're doing well in the quarantine. Here's a bit of Reese's Pieces for you. Say the first wrestling-related thing that comes to your mind, starting with every letter in the alphabet. It can be wrestlers, pay-per-views, finishers, whatever you come up with. Okay, that's interesting. And very helpfully, Jack, who does the notes for the show, has typed up the alphabet. I guess in case I forgot what came after A.
No, he did that.
Oh, did he? Oh, that's nice of him as well.
Yeah.
He has such a high opinion of us. That... By the way,
I've realised
lads,
as well.
Here's the alphabet.
I was gonna save this one for next week and choose like there was one that got submitted last week that I was gonna choose this week, but I forgot. So we'll do last week's one next week if that makes sense. We're all good. It's fine. Yeah,
I'm sure it is. Gotta be better than this. So, Reese's Pieces as always. Fastest thought first.
God, a man with an incredible beard just walked past my front living room there.
Fastest thought first for those that have them. So, Ross can go first, then Jack, then myself. Ross, the first letter of the alphabet is A.
Armageddon.
Andre the Giant.
Arn Anderson. B.
Babatunde.
Oh God, your mind just goes blank, doesn't it? Bruno Sammartino.
Brian Blair, I make you humble, old country style. All right. C.
Crush.
Charlotte Flair was the first one that came to mind.
Chuck Palumbo. Oh, Christ. D.
Oh, Diddler.
Devon Dudley.
Dr. D. Slap. E.
Oh my God, I've got footballer Enoch Shawumney in my head. E. That team from NXT. Everlast. Wow,
Everrise.
that was Everrise. Everlast, the Lonsdale brand, isn't it? Shut up, Ross. Jack? But then.
ECW.
Eddie Kingston. Brr. F.
Fandango.
Farmer Burns. So old school.
I can't think of bloody anything. Oh, this sucks. Fred Durst from SmackDown, whatever game it was. Phew. G.
Gerald Briscoe.
Grandmaster Sexay.
The Godfather. H.
Henry Godwin.
Does Triple H count?
Yeah. The Godfather's hose.
No.
I.
Intercontinental Championship.
Internet wrestling community.
Intercontinental Champion, The Godfather, accompanied by his hose. J.
Jake Hager.
Jay the Snake Roberts. Just the Intercontinental Champion.
Julian Peace from Germany. K.
Quang.
Karrion Cross.
K. Quick getting rowdy. Then getting unemployed. L.
Loomis of Dexter Loomis.
Lindsay Dorado.
Lowdown. The tag team that were only a bit foreign. M.
Magnus.
Oh.
Michael Cole.
This sucks, doesn't it? Mankind. Got nothing.
Oh.
N.
Nikita Koloff.
Nick Nemeth.
Nikolai Volkov, the other Russian. O.
Oh my God.
One Night Stand. 2005.
Oh, you didn't know? The Godfather used to be the Intercontinental Champion. P.
Paul Levesque.
Paul London.
Paul Verhoeven, the UFC blokey that took on Taz that one time in ECW,
Oh, he's huge, him.
who said he was alright jobbing, then changed his mind, so Taz suggested that they fight for real. Until Paul Verhoeven decided to be okay with it.
I've been watching some old UFCs and he is massive.
Yeah, he was going to fight
crap.
Taz.
But he's crap. He's only good because he's massive.
Taz said the same. Q.
Yeah.
Queen Charmel.
Oh, God, I can't think. Quick question. Who was one of the
Was that
IC
it?
champions in 2000? It's the Godfather.
99, but I appreciate the effort.
Balls.
Quebec, where some wrestlers come from.
You could say the Quebecers.
Oh, Christ.
Vince McMahon's brother. Rod. Is it Rod? Rod. Ron Weasley.
Rodimus
Ron
McMahon.
Swansea. It begins with an R, I'm pretty sure, so that's my answer.
Okay.
Ricochet.
Reno from the Natural Born Thrillers, who got a giant pop one time on Nitro because Arthur Crowd thought it was Goldberg from a distance.
Was that him with a crappy ponytail? Like he was
That's it.
bald but had a ponytail.
That's how I could tell them apart. S.
Shane McMahon.
Ugh.
Savio Vega.
Scott Hall. Hey, yo.
Did none of us
T.
want to go for Steve Austin there? Was it too obvious?
T.
Oh, T. The Undertaker.
The Hardy Boys.
Big T from WCW, who wanted ownership of the letter T. U.
Undertaker.
Ultimate Warrior.
When Hogan gets hit 3 times and goes, you. And he can't say what he says next. V.
Val Venus.
That was mine. Vengeance.
Victor Quiones, the guy who would get people booked everywhere.
You should have gone for Hayden Vancy Wanson.
Well, that's his full name. W.
WrestleMania.
WWE.
Ooh, what a rush. X.
Santa Claus.
Yo, you dealing with the X Factor. I got everything I want.
Ultimate X. No ladders required until the belt falls off and you put it back on again. Y.
Here's why.
Why is this taking so long?
That's good. Down, all I can think of Simon Miller.
Yokozuna. Have that one, Maffew.
Yokozuna and Simon Miller are always spoken in the same sentence. Yeah, sure, Yokozuna. And finally, Z.
Zelina Vega.
The Zodiac.
Z Gangster, aka Zeus.
What a stable that would be.
Uncensored
Zeus.
90s. Yeah, Zeus, Z Gangster, teaming up with himself. Zelina.
No, Zeus, Zelina, and whoever I said.
I've already forgotten what you've said as well, so let's move on.
Zodiac.
Cheers. Yes, no. Cheers, guys, and big thanks for providing a lovely content in these hard times. Sebastian from Poland.
Cheers, Sebastian.
Thank you. And if you have any Reese's Pieces to kill 40 minutes or so, please send them to mailbag@cultaholic.com.
It's Cultaholics.
What a lovely podcast. And this week's big question is, which themed WWE pay-per-view is the best? These are all the themed WWE pay-per-views, I imagine, and there's been a lot of them.
Well,
Come on, Jack, why don't you start us off?
well, no. Do we include the Royal Rumble, or is that a big four? Does that not count? Because
Nah, because
obviously
then
the
we'd
Rumble's the
all
best one.
say Royal
Yeah.
Rumble then in that
Right.
case. So.
Yeah.
Okay. I think Money in the Bank's probably the best one currently. It's not. I mean, it's not. It's certainly not Hell in a Cell. That's a bad one, I'd say. I'll go for Money in the Bank.
Why is that?
I think that even though it's not going to be an infinite source of storytelling, I think that it helps, and it's had some great moments. And one of my favourite WWE pay-per-views ever was Money in the Bank 2011. And I think that the concept of it's just quite exciting because there's always that sense like, ooh, someone new might be getting a push. Maybe this year it'll be, well, not Apollo anymore because he's out. Andrade, if he gets put in. So I'll go for Money in the Bank.
Okay. I think Money in the Bank's gone as far as it could, to be honest with you, in terms of just the storytelling of like, oh, and then somebody may cash in, and then that just becomes this crutch that they hold on to for months on end. But it isn't like we're going to lose it for a while, so like annual Hell in a Cell, have to accept that it sucks. That's a good one, though. I'm going to go with the Unforgiven Scramble match. The one time they did it is I say whole pay-per-view. There was 3 matches. There was 3 world titles, and one of them was ECW. 20 minutes.
Is that not Survivor Series?
No.
I watched one the other day.
No, they did the match.
Series
Sorry, yeah. They did do the match again a few other times, but that was the time then they went. They were really experimenting that time when they had the stuff like Fatal 4-Way, Breaking Point, those other gimmick pay-per-views that didn't take off. But that one,
Fatal 4-Way.
And then they gave the results of who won it on the whatever. But that's one that was a concept that they probably could have stuck with compared to some of the others. Because it sucked that they had Jim Ross and I think Lawler trying to explain what it was. And you could tell they were looking at it going, what? What does this mean? But,
yeah.
like, everyone else was like, no, we get it. Someone gets ownership of the title, and after 20 minutes, they still have ownership. They win it or retain it. I thought it was very effective at one time.
Was that when Kendrick was briefly, not officially, but was the champion?
Oh, yeah, you just reminded me. Yeah, it does mean that some people used to vandalize Wikipedia something fierce, adding on Brian Kendrick was a former world champion. Like, no. Because they show up the graphics. Current WWE champion, Brian Kendrick. Like, no, no, he isn't. The ownership of the title, but whatever. But I think it's something they could bring back. And I miss the idea of it.
I think Ross cropped up on Tamina's Wikipedia this week.
Yes, he did.
Someone put me on, yeah.
He's still there.
Tamina.
You know what, while you come up with an answer, I'm going to have a look and see if you're still on Tamina's profile.
It's spiraled out of control after I shared it on Twitter. Like, I wish I didn't do it now. Just bastardise their entire Wikipedia page.
Well, there's nothing else on it.
Someone put she had 20 kids, Maffew. How many kids has she got? Tell me how many kids she's got, Maffew.
19.
Is it 19?
I've no...
I thought you were looking at the Wikipedia page.
Oh, right, okay. Personal life. Oh, Snooker is a mother of 2 daughters.
Oh, thank God for that.
Do you remember when I said that I'm not
I think
even...
you've gone,
like,
Ross, I'm sorry.
Have I gone?
Yeah.
Nightmare.
Go on, what were we saying, Jack?
Do you remember when I said that I'm not even like the biggest YouTuber in my year at school?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, people were like obviously snitch tagging him, the guy who is the biggest YouTuber from my year in school. And I think he just thinks I'm an arsehole now because the clip that was shown is just me being really jealous and bitter towards him. So I think he thinks I'm a knob. But also he's on my school's notable alumni and I'm not. What's that about then? Why am I not on my school's notable alumni?
Well, what has he done that you haven't?
Well, he's got better quality videos than that, but apart from that...
How dare you say that while your laptop shakes as you move your legs?
He's
and you stretch your belly like you're a bear that's just eating someone.
He's generally like a better presenter and stuff and all that, but, you know, whatever.
Oh.
Anyway, Maffew, what's your favourite?
I bet your opinions
Ross.
on wrestling are better than his.
Yeah. No, he loves Jack Briscoe. Ross, did you go or was it? Yeah, Ross, what's yours?
Mine would be Taboo Tuesday, just because Money in the Bank has already been said. Love a bit of Taboo Tuesday.
I can't believe they've not done it again.
I know. Get the app and all sorts of lots of fun to be had. Massive computer screen is the Titantron. What's not to love?
It could be like a giant phone now if they did it.
Yeah, just the Raw set basically is a tablet now with a minus that bit.
Yeah. Kevin Owens would brawl with Seth and bounce him off it, and then Michael Cole will say, wow, he really rung his bell with that one. Good reception here for Kevin Owens. Oh, sorry. And that's it. I'm trying to think of the other one. TLC usually delivers.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a nice Christmas cracker, that one. I don't know where that came from.
There's been some alright matches at Extreme Rules over the years, I think. Roman and AJ Styles had a great match at Extreme Rules one.
Yeah, Extreme Rules usually delivers as well.
Sometimes. Apart from when it's Bailey being scared of a kendo stick.
Yeah, that's the hit and miss with these things, isn't it? Oh, now everything has to be relevant to this gimmick. So when they do TLC, to begin with, it was like, well, I'd never usually attack a guy with a chair, but there's a chair match this weekend, so it's me and you fighting over one of them.
They even do that for the Royal Rumble build, though.
Oh no, what's this? I couldn't get the chair this year, so this time I'm going to get some stairs.
Steps matches were the best.
Yeah, they were. Well, I think we've talked about all we need to with that. Well, I mean, what do you expect from these the current situation we have here with these fabulous questions? But I've enjoyed this week's podcast. I've enjoyed the fact that for some reason, the video quality of my camera is upgraded, despite me doing absolutely nothing to increase it. I'm happy to see Jack looking well. I'm happy to see Ross doing well. He's still got that cool painting behind him.
Yes.
So, Ross, any closing thoughts? The fabulous people that have watched us all the way to the end?
Well done. Thank you. Good on you for getting this far.
Cool. And any other exciting videos you have to promote?
A tier ranking thing with Sam where we're ranking every single WrestleMania ever. Whoa. It's long.
Wow.
Whoa.
That will kill the time.
It will kill all of the time.
And Jack?
I'm currently working on a script for another one of Adam Pachiti's ranking videos, which is taking me a long time to write. I won't say what it's on, but should be out in the next year or two. It's a long one. Yeah, that's all I've got to plug at the minute. Maffew?
Fantastic. A long ranking video there from Jack we could look forward to. I will have the Botchamania stuff as always, and I will be playing Pac-Man Championship Edition 2 because it's free on Steam right now. We'll publicise that fact. It's all right.
Fair enough.
It's free. I mean, Jesus. And apart from that, that is all the time we have for this week. Thank you very much for watching all the way at the end. You can, of course, vote for the Hall of Fame by going to cultaholic.com/ going to patreon.com/cultaholic. And if you want to send us any questions or racist pieces or just whatever's on your mind, as they usually end up being anyway, please send them to mailbag@cultaholic.com. And we always end the show by putting the hands near the camera, and it looks crap, but we haven't got anything else better, so we'll do it again. And on 3, 1, 2, 3, join us.
Join us.